Hi, Professor Thompson. My name is Eva Coles. This is my video submission for the attend an event on campus and write or record a video, basically about your experience at the event. So basically, I attended this research seminar to meet an expert in counseling research. Her name was Dr. Ashley Johnson. This is the flyer for it. This is her, and this is the flyer for it. So basically, she talks about her experience, her psychological experience, and her psychological journey, and how socialization kind of influenced her to go down the path that she went down, and how, and I'll just get into it. So basically, she stated her background and how her schooling really influenced like what path, or like kind of narrowed down for her what specific path of psychology or counseling she wanted to go down. She focused on counseling, rehabilitation, and education. Yes, counseling, rehabilitation, and education. So she is a professor at North Carolina A&T, and she kind of struggled because the institutions, like psychological institutions, don't really combine rehabilitation with counseling services. They kind of don't. Rehabilitation is basically like, she targets people with special needs, so people with Down syndrome or things like that, and they don't really see, or the psychology institution doesn't really see people with those types of disabilities as needing counseling, which is a crazy fact that she literally just dropped on us, because why wouldn't they need counseling? Like, they're humans too. And that's kind of something that she touched on, is how these people with disabilities aren't seen as humans because they have these disabilities, seen as humans in quotes. But I was just very captivated by her argument, and she kind of like pulled in these two, or she wanted to like kind of like intertwine these two topics together, like the counseling and rehabilitation. So while she was in grad school, I think she was a part of a lab that studied people with disabilities. So that kind of piqued her interest, that like socialization kind of piqued her interest with her peers and things like that. So that kind of pushed her to want to do that. So now she's currently an educator at North Carolina A&T, and I actually, for another class assignment, we had to do a practitioner interview, and she's kind of like in a field that I kind of wanted to see more about. So I got to interview her in this. So we talked more about this topic, and she told me, I asked her, like, since what brought you to this field was that there was no bridge between counseling and rehabilitation, like how are you currently implementing that into your current teaching? And she was like, it's still really hard because she has to kind of follow a curriculum, but she does kind of emphasize when she's teaching her counseling classes at A&T that like people with special needs do need counseling too, and it's very important not to overlook them. But that was my kind of synopsis on that. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great one. Oh, and that meeting took place Thursday, March 19th, 2026 from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. in the new science building.